welcome back to our channel.
This is Nyango's family.
So we're picking up from our last video on homeschooling versus public schools, and we link it up somewhere up here so that you get to pick it up from part 1. So on our last video we were discussing COPE. Could you kindly tell us or tell our viewers more on COPE and what it entails?
Now, first COPE in full is close or play. Now, some parents they have some concerns. What happened to their children? Do they get time to play?
Yeah, I think there's been some social concern. It's actually a social concern that if children who go through homeschooling system do not socialize.
Exactly.
So what does it mean?
we decide, for example, if you have our students from, let's say, for example, in Lavington, in a specific area, we organize with the parents, then they can bring them to a place where they can have some extracurricular activities together with the students in homeschooling.
So extracurricular activities like?
They can be playing football. They can also be doing weaving.
Wow.
They can also be doing debate. They can also be doing swimming. A lot of activities.
So in this kind of setup, does it mean that parents from, for instance, because we used Lavington as an example, so does it mean homeschooling parents from Lavington and probably, is it Kilimani, for instance? So those two locations, so the parents are the one organizing this kind of activities.
Yeah, what happens is that every parent, let's say a parent is from Kilimani or Lavington, they have to join the group. It's a WhatsApp group. They join it, and then there is a team leader in each and every group who advises the parents, and he follows up when the meetings are supposed to take place, which is every week, once every week.
So those kind of activities organized are meant to create social.
Exactly.
For the children, also for the parents.
Yes.
Both.
In most occasions, some parents may not get time to come, but they can drop their children there because we have people who are actually taking care of the children during that time.
I think it's really an interesting approach, because then you get to exchange resources, information, because as I understand, and I think this question would be taking us into our next question, that homeschooling has different curriculum.
Yes.
So I think in that kind of setup, it brings, it's a diverse kind of an arena where parents, children get to understand what these other people are doing, what these other parents are teaching, the kind of materials they're using.
Yeah.
I think it's a great kind of approach on how to enable children get to socialize within the society.
Yeah, sure.
So what other curriculum are there in homeschooling?
Now, in homeschooling, we have, the other time I talked about SE, and I told you that SE in full is accelerated Christian education. Now, in SE, schools and homeschools, the children learn at home, and some they can learn in school. And also, this student-centered, not teacher-centered, when the children set their own goals.
Okay.
A particular work they need to do in a day. Then we also have IGCSE. IGCSE is divided into two. We have
no. Before you go to GSCC, one of our viewers would be asking is on ACE, maybe just for them to understand. Is it more on religion, kind of? Is it religiously based, or what's the difference between ACE and IGCSE?
Okay, in ACE, the children's mind develop based in God-centered environment. It is a bit different with IGCSE. In IGCSE, you can have children of different religions, like Muslims, okay, Christian learning together. But in ACE, it's particularly for Christians.
Okay.
Yes.
So a Muslim wouldn't want to do ACE.
No, they can choose.
It wouldn't be suitable for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
do you have cases of Muslims doing ACE?
there are some parents they will really want to.
As in, have you come across?
I came across one parent when I was teaching in Tanzania.
Okay.
Yeah. It is rich most in the concept of God, and also it is curriculum based. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have IGCSE. IGCSE, we have IGCSE Dexel and IGCSE Cambridge. Yeah.
So what are they?
These are international systems. So a parent can choose to go to take a child to a Dexel and also all to do Cambridge. IGCSE is International General Certificate of Secondary Education. That's where the children are prepared to graduate into international system of education. It is accepted worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really elaborate.
Yeah, it is recognized all over the world. In the UK as well.
We've touched on so many topics, on so many differences between homeschooling and the public schools. We've touched on socialization, we've touched on religious instruction, we've touched on the environment, how homeschooling is and how it is on the public schools. We've also touched on, is it the behavioral?
Yeah, behavioral changes.
Yeah, moral instruction, per se, sort of. We've looked at how the system runs on homeschooling and what is being offered on homeschooling, and also what is currently being offered in the normal schools.
In the curriculum.
Yeah. So probably just to wrap this homeschooling topic, do you think homeschooling is the best or it's suitable for our children?
Yeah, I think homeschooling is the best because it focuses mostly on learning and mastering concepts as compared to normal education, which focuses mostly on scoring good grades.
That is so unlike how our public schools run, or rather how just the normal schools we've gone through. So does it mean that do homeschooling offer exams?
Yeah, we do. Homeschooling offers exams, and each curriculum has an exam body.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does it also mean that, I think, just for our viewers to understand a bit deeper, better, does it mean that, like the way we do it, like the way it's done in the normal schools, that you have to have good grades to go to the next level? So is it also the same case? Does it apply also in the same in homeschooling?
You see, every grade, just like I told you, every curriculum, there is, let me talk about this average mark that children need to attain in a certain exam. So if the children don't attain that mark, they cannot proceed to the next grade.
Wow.
So as it happens in the normal schooling, it also happens the same.
But it doesn't like focus more on good grades or scoring grades.
Yeah, it is building a full child. That's why full child, a complete child. Okay, when you're building a complete child, you don't only check on the grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a whole encompassing kind of system.
Yeah. You're checking a lot. Apart from grades, you're also checking on the character.
Okay.
So that when this child
character building, yeah.
Yes, when the child goes out there, the child is completely equipped with everything happening in the outside world.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So something else that just to pick on about homeschooling before we wrap this up, I've also noticed. Okay, is it that let's say if a parent decides to homeschool their children, or is it because most of the time I've had homeschooling moms. Does it mean that there are no homeschooling dads, or what's the difference?
Not really. We have some dads homeschooling their children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's only the homeschooling moms that has really,
Yeah.
popped out there. I mean, it's that famous.
It's a responsibility of a dad as well to provide education to their children.
So we have scenarios where also both parents homeschool their children.
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Or are there also scenarios where we have just the fathers homeschooling their children?
Yes, we have. We have scenarios where both parents are the tutors. And a scenario where a father is a tutor. And also a scenario where a mother is a tutor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are parents who have decided to just now take homeschooling as a full-time job instead of involving tutors to teach their children, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, that's really interesting. Wow. So I think have we really? Is there anything probably we need to?
Yeah. There's also some other sensitive part on the children with underlying health issues. Yeah. Like right now, where we have COVID, homeschooling has really helped them so that not to get exposed.
Yeah. With that, I absolutely agree with you because I mean, we could hear about how people were dying. So many people died, and most especially people who had underlying health conditions. And I think homeschooling would be really perfect for children who are undergoing, who have health issues.
Yeah, also during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah. I think homeschooling would be the best option or suitable for that bracket of children. And not just even children. I think maybe even the teachers themselves, or rather the parents who would be undertaking this kind of, or would be focused on going for homeschooling.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. So where do we find daylight, or what is daylight, or where can our viewers go and check more and find more information about daylight?
Yes, now if you want to check information about daylight, you can go to our website. You can write www.daylighthomeschool.co.ke. We're also in Facebook. You can check Daylight Homeschooling on Facebook.
Yeah, and we're going to link all the social handles and even link the website on the description box below and check it out. I'll
Thank
see
you,
in your
bye.
next video.